I'm Anne.
And I'm Monica, and this is the episode where we get educated.
Ooh.
About sex.
About sex. Ooh.
Okay. That was really bad. But
Really.
if you can't tell already, we are going to be talking about sex education. Yay.
Ooh. The Netflix show.
If you don't know what sex education is, have you been living under a rock?
I know.
Because it's like a very popular show. It's a show on Netflix, and season 3 was just released like last week, I think.
Maybe 2
last
weeks
week.
ago. No?
Probably. I don't know. I'm losing track of time. And yeah, it's like one of Netflix's most popular shows.
Yes, very quickly.
I love it. It's one of my favorite shows.
It's really good. Yeah.
Very good. And yeah, we've never done an episode on it, so we're going to be discussing. We're mostly discussing the newer season, obviously.
Yeah.
But yeah, we're going to be talking about sex education.
Yeah.
And
We're gonna
how we feel about it, how we feel about the characters, how we feel about the plot lines, all of that good stuff.
Exactly. So if you have not seen Sex Education, what are you doing? Go binge it.
Yeah.
And then come and talk to us after.
But just in case you're a little lazy,
Yeah.
and you just want to know what it's about,
Mhm.
essentially, it is a British TV show,
Yes.
about, or Netflix show, whatever, online web series, whatever, about a high school called Moordale High, and there's a bunch of students at that school, and we're following all of their lives, and it basically it surrounds this character named Otis, whose mom is a sex therapist, but Otis does not have a lot of sex experience at all. But he uses all of the knowledge that he knows from his mom's profession to open up a clinic, per se. They call it a clinic.
Yeah.
With an outcast girl named Maeve, where basically they charge students for sex advice.
Yeah.
Essentially.
Sex education and sex advice.
Sex education, because the students are clearly lacking in it.
Yes.
And yeah, we get to follow all these characters, their friends, other students at the school, the teachers, the mom herself.
Yes,
So-
Jean. Ugh, Jill Maverick.
Yes. So yeah, that's basically the premise of the show. And now we're entering season 3 with the principal, Mr. Groff, or whatever his name is, who has been fired, and there's a new principal coming in.
Her name's Hope.
And yeah, and
she
we're
wild.
and the clinic has been closed because it was exposed by everybody in the last season.
Yeah.
And yeah, and we came back from summer, so we're in a new school year.
Yes. And that's how it starts. So we're going to
Yes.
be going character by character, like just talking about their arc, how we felt about them in the season in general. So the first characters we're actually going to talk about, you just mentioned, was Mr. Groff and Maureen Groff. Those are the two who
Adam's
are Adam's
parents.
parents. Yeah, for people who don't know them by their first names, which I didn't. So
Maureen, I knew Maureen. She's friends with Otis's mom too.
yeah, I knew Mr. Groff doesn't have a first name. They don't mention it in the show.
Yeah, I don't think they ever mentioned
But
it.
I forgot Maureen's name. I was like, Adam's mom. But
Adam's mom.
yeah, we can talk about how we felt about Maureen's thing and like Mr. Groff and their whole relationship.
Yeah.
I can get started quickly and then you can like add your
Yeah,
2
go
cents.
ahead.
So Maureen decided to leave him, which was a big deal last season. So now she's like single. But actually, this is what I'll say. Obviously, before season 3, Mr. Groff was like, ugh, like I hated him completely. Like I was like,
Yeah, he was basically like the villain.
he was like the
essentially.
villain. But sex education does every time. Every time I'm like, ew, I don't like this character. I don't want to see them ever again. They like do backstories and show their lives.
Yeah,
and then
I think
I'm
because
like,
I heard like the
"Oh."
whole point of the show is to like challenge high school stereotypes.
Yes, exactly.
Where like you have these very archetypical, whatever the word is.
Yeah.
Yeah, like very like archetype characters, like you know the jock, the bully, whatever. But then they purposely try to flip those on their head.
And they do a good job.
So
it's really good.
They have like the evil principal who's like
like super uptight. But then like
Yeah.
we found out that like especially with the mistreatment of his dad and his brother, like Mr. Groff was taught to like suppress his emotions, which is actually so like it's interesting because you obviously we'll talk about him later, but you can see that in Adam too, like how that translated like to the 3rd generation at that point. So it was really cool to see like where his emotional stuntedness came from. And like I was rooting for him up to the point where he went to Maureen and then like didn't talk to Adam at all. Like, I was like,
yeah, like it seemed like his main point was getting back Maureen, but not
wife,
making up with Adam.
Yes. And I was like, do you not love your son? Like, bruh.
Right? Like, it's just like, and like, at first, I'm the same thing where I was reading for him. I was like, no, I want him to get back together with Maureen. Like, he seems like he's really trying.
Yes.
But then she was like, no, like, you're not even putting an effort to, like,
with your son.
See your son or anything like that. Why would, like, you're not really showing me that you care? And I was like, yeah, it's true. It's true.
Which is, like, good on Maureen. Like, she is the voice of reason in this situation. Like, she really cares 100%. About her son. And still cares about, like, obviously Mr. Groff, like, clearly. But she knows, like, what's best for her and Adam right now.
Yeah.
And it's like,
no, it makes sense.
You should have, like, he changed a lot. Like, obviously Mr. Groff is making an effort, but not the effort that he needs to be doing, honestly.
Yeah.
Like,
he's not putting his priorities in the right place.
Exactly. Like, you can obviously try to get back with your ex-wife. That is your prerogative. And obviously, if you feel like you can fulfill this stuff that you weren't doing in the relationship, that's good. But your son, you're supposed to have a relationship with him no matter what. Even if you're not, if you're divorced or not, like, that's one relationship that you were supposed to be working on, and you have made zero efforts. So it's like,
I mean, I liked how his character had, like, a lot of growth this season. I liked how we got to know him. I just felt really bad for him too, because he just, like, didn't have a job. His wife was leaving him. His son not talking to him. Like, I just felt bad. And he didn't have anywhere to live, and he was getting bullied by his brother. Like, I just felt really bad for him the whole time.
I did. It was bad.
So it was a little depressing to watch. But I'm glad that he, like, you know, well, it just sucks because he just got so confident at the end, and at the end she's like, no.
Yeah,
he's like, oh,
like,
okay.
I wish she didn't stand him up. Like, I wish she, like,
yeah.
But, you know, she's allowed
but
to
I mean,
do that.
I guess
fine.
he's gonna find, like, he needed it. Like, he's gonna learn
that.
You know, he has other things to work on too. So.
But it's just like it's kind of like Adam, like last season. Every time Adam gets, like, close to, well, actually Adam period throughout all series, every time Adam gets close to, like, winning or something cool, like, something terrible happens right after. And
exactly.
You're like,
exactly.
So I feel like
they just can never win.
Yeah, exactly. So I feel like that's what happened with Mr. Groff. Like, he stood up to his brother. He told his wife, like, you know, I'm ready to be the man you want me to be. And then she's like, but what about our son? He's like, who?
Like, there was a mistake. Don't talk to me anymore.
Yeah. So it was a lot. But I'm actually really excited we have to have a season 4, by the way.
I'm pretty sure it's already, I don't know if it's already confirmed, but it's like, they can't not.
It's
not done yet.
So I'm going to talk like it is, okay? Season 4, I'm expecting more growth with that. Like, I do want a happy ending for their family. I think they deserve it.
I do, yeah. Whether it's, like, them getting back together, at least just them, like, you know, being at peace.
Yes.
You know?
Like, I want good relationships between whatever that is, romantic or just co-parenting. I don't really care. I just want good relationships between all of them. And I like that also but we'll talk about it more for Adam, but I do like that Maureen and Adam are getting closer. I think that's really good.
I like how he's comfortable to, like, talk to her about stuff now.
They're so sweet. Oh my gosh, they make me cry every time. It's, like, disgusting. Okay. Next group. So we're just gonna put all these characters together. We'll just discuss them all. So we have Jackson, Cal, and Viv. And,
okay.
Like, Hope
I have a lot of thoughts about this.
Hope in the background.
Hope, kind of Hope too.
Okay.
I have a lot of thoughts about this.
Oh, do you want to go first then? I'm excited to hear your thoughts.
First and foremost, I hate what they did with Viv's character.
Yeah.
Pissed me off because I loved her in season 2.
I love Viv.
She was so great. Like, it was such a great friendship with her and Jackson. And then they just made her out of nowhere to be, like, the most annoying, most, like, teacher's pet person. Like, I guess she was, like, smart before, but, like, it wasn't her whole personality. You know what I mean? Like, they literally just turned her on her head and made her, like, so annoying. They made her so very
one-dimensional, I would say.
Yeah, like, her whole personality was just trying to impress Hope the whole time. And I don't know where it came from. Like, it literally came from nowhere. Like, Hope said, like, 3 words in the first, like, speech that she did, and she's like, oh my god, okay, I love her, we're doing everything. And I'm like, why? And it just was annoying me the whole time. I was like, Viv, what are you doing? Like, I know I'm glad that at the end she came around, but it was just so annoying because I was so excited to see the progression, because at the end of season 2 we had Viv and Jackson's, like, friendship that had literally spent the whole season building up, and then they just threw it away this whole season, where it's like they just were like, no, they're not gonna be friends anymore because she's gonna be so annoying. And I'm like, I was excited for season 3 so that I could see their friendship, you know, get stronger or whatever it is, and then they just ruined it. And I was like,
I completely agree. I was so excited to see their like platonic friendship because I was like, they don't usually do that in shows as much. And I was like, they actually are good. And I think it's like so out of character for her to act that way because, for example, when Jackson like performed self-harm on himself, you know, like when he did that, and she like went against his wishes and she's like, no, I need to say something. It's like she's the type of person who will like throw away rules or like certain things for what's right. So I'm kind of like, why would she all of it like I would have believed. I don't think the storyline that they made for Viv was unrealistic, let's say. Like it could have got there. It's just the delivery was poor. So it's like if you
it just annoyed me, especially just because I liked her so much last season, and then they made me hate her this season, and I'm like, why?
Like if you set it up like, oh, she needs the money for school or something, like something to motivate her to be like, I need to be head girl, because all that I understood was she just wants to be head girl because it would look good on her college application, which I'm like, you could do 10,000 different things to look good on your college application. Like I needed more of a motivation for that, and then I could have, and also I needed Hope's progression with her to be slower. Do you know what I mean? Like that's usually what happens. Like you get into a club and then it's small things like, hey, can you just do this for me? Hey, blah blah blah, and like small things until she realizes like, oh, I've gone too far.
Yeah, that would have made so much more sense for her if she had like just slowly been like, if she, at the beginning she'd be like, what? No, we're not gonna do that. But then like she's like, oh, but come on, let's just listen to what she says. And then at the end she's like, oh shoot, I've literally like enabled all this to happen. Not immediately just like, no, we can't do that. Hope said so. Whatever. Like.
That just seems like not realistic that she wouldn't like do slowly. Like I really think, you know, the suggestion that Jackson did with the advice column thing, I think they should have done that earlier, and I think it should have actually happened. But then she would have realized,
they kept talking about it and they never showed it.
And she would have been head of it, and then she would have been going back to Hope to tell her all the advice. And then when she realizes that Hope is like not taking it, that's when she should have been like, oh, like, because, you know, it's very much like, oh, I can make a difference from the inside instead of like making a difference like as an outsider. I would totally see Viv being like that, being like, hey, we need a man on the inside to like get our point across. So why don't I do it, you know?
Yeah.
And then she realizes that she's not able to, you know, reason with Hope. And then finally that's when she like switches. Like that would have made way more sense, you know? It was just, I don't know. It was not. I agree with you. I didn't like Viv's character.
I just annoyed what they did with Viv's character. I was really sad. But in terms of like Jackson too, like even Jackson, like I feel like they kind of lost him a little bit in this season. Same. Like I feel like I didn't get as much as his personality because they made his whole personality this season his thing with Cal.
Which I'm sorry. I don't know. Cal just didn't do it for me. I don't know. I don't know what Cal I don't know what
their like purpose kind of was, you know what I mean? Like I felt like they needed more to them than just being in a relationship or having like this little relationship thing going on with
Jackson, like
with Jackson,
and being like, obviously the non-binary part is important, like that's cool.
Oh yeah, like I get what they were trying to do, but I just wish they had given them more of a personality besides that, you know? Like
I felt like they should have done with Cal what they did with like Lily in the first season. Like Lily had her own like, not her own episode, but in the first season she just had like her own like scenes, and like she would come in like in and out like as a secondary character, and it wasn't until the second season that she really got her like spotlight, we could say that. I think they should have done the same thing with Cal because it was too much too fast. Like no offense, I'm gonna be honest, I don't really care to see Cal's storyline in the next season anymore because I feel like it's over. Like like because you brought Cal in as a love interest almost as their purpose, and then that's done clearly, and now I'm just more interested in like what Jackson's gonna end up doing, not necessarily what Cal is doing, which is I feel is poor because they should have set it up better.
Like I feel like Cal. They should have just introduced them a lot better.
Yes,
you know, like instead of just immediately throwing them into this relationship with Jackson, I feel like it would have been better if they were more of like, if you learned more about them first, and then maybe like, you know, Jackson getting to know them and whatever.
So when Lily got together with Ola, like that's in the second season, it felt more rewarding because we knew Lily from season 1, like slowly but surely, you know? So I felt like, same with Ola, like Ola was there throughout the season until she got with Otis. Like there was a lot of time between that.
Yeah,
like,
exactly.
You know, getting to know her. So I just feel like they didn't do that the way I wish they would have.
Yeah. Honestly, I also just felt like, I don't know. I like when shows address different issues. Like, don't get me wrong. I'm literally the one always championing for that.
Usually.
But I just hate when they use a character just for that. Like, I hate when they bring in a character and you can just tell they're like, okay, this is the character that's gonna bring up all the issues on this one topic and no one else is gonna. Like, also they had that other side. I forgot the other non-binary person's name. I wish, like, you know what I mean? If Cal's character had been more about them and maybe becoming friends with that person, or maybe like more scenes with that other non-binary person, that would have been interesting to me.
Yes.
But it just felt like they just brought them in. I would have liked to see a non-binary character just be there. You know what I mean? Like,
right.
You can still bring up the certain issues, especially because Hope was like freaking an asshole about it.
Yes.
But you can definitely bring that up. But it just felt like they were just using Cal to bring up those issues, and 100%. It's like, I just wish it had been they had like put a little more dimension to their character. I usually give Sex Education so much props for not doing that. They're usually really good at like exactly. That's why I think I was a bit disappointed. Yeah, for sure. That's what I mean. Like, Sex Education, I would expect them as a show. Like, other shows, I would not be surprised if that's what they did. But
I'd be like, this is the best
point of Sex Education is that they like challenge all these stereotypes in such a natural way.
Yeah.
But this one just felt a little bit like they didn't think it through.
It was
much.
like
I feel like it was too lazy. You know what I mean?
Almost.
Yeah. It was just too lazy. They're like, oh, we're gonna bring in this marginalized character, and they're just gonna get, you know, ripped apart by everyone all the time, and they're gonna have to fight for their life the whole time, and it's like,
but then
it's exhausting, you know, because it's like I feel bad.
In a relationship still, like, you're fighting for your life, but then also it's like, oh, we're supposed to try to get the head boy, like the most popular guy. Like, I just thought it was unrealistic too. Like, I was like, not saying that Jackson couldn't be interested in someone like Cal, but I just didn't see the connection there. Like, I honestly
it was definitely an insta love type of thing. Because he literally saw them and right away he was like, whoa, like whatever. And
you know, I hate insta love.
It just didn't give us the opportunity to get to know Cal before that. I think that's my main thing.
Exactly. All right.
And I wish like they would have been more of a little squad too, like Cal, Viv, and Jackson. I feel like they would have been
like
such a cool little friend group.
Would have been so much better.
I didn't see enough of that.
Yeah. Ugh. I really wish Viv was in the squad. Like, that's what I wanted to see.
Hopefully they improve it a little next season, because I need to see like more friendship.
I honestly just want to see Viv and Jackson like take over the world. Cal can be there too, but that's what I want. That's what I really want. Okay, next group, Lily and Ola. We'll talk about Lily first and then Ola, because they did have like their own significant, but together too.
And see, I was gonna say I liked how they didn't just throw, like, you know, they're as a couple, and in some shows when a couple gets together in the next season, they'll just have them as a background couple and just have them like just be there sometimes holding hands in the background, or just like, you know what I mean? But I liked how they both had their own struggles this season. See, like, it just sucks because sometimes Sex Education does things so well, and then they do things that are iffy, but like the things that are done really, really well like overshadow the bad things, so it's okay.
For sure.
But yeah, I liked how they both had their own like separate struggles. Like, I liked how Lily was, you know, struggling with her whole thing with you know, her alien thing, I guess it is, like
fiction, I don't know what you call it.
It's like just her fantasy,
just her fantasy
things,
her writing. We could just say her writing. She writes clearly.
And how we really saw her go through a whole arc with that and her emotions. And I do think the actress who plays Lily is really good.
She is a good actress.
I think she does a really, really good job.
But I think I have a different opinion than you.
Okay.
I didn't like what they did with Lily. Because it made me not want Lily and Ola together anymore. Because
I see what you mean. Yeah,
Lily was just, I mean, okay, I don't want to be mean, but I'm gonna be a little mean. Okay. We can't act like Ola missing her mom and feeling crazy struggles about her new family situation equates to Lily being obsessed with her alien thing. Like, if we're being 100% honest,
no. Yeah, for sure.
Lily didn't have problems until Hope, the principal, was rude to her, like, on that stage. Like, before that,
that was so messed up.
Right? It was really messed up.
That was so messed up.
So messed up. But before that, she was just writing her stories and it was fine. And it was just her continuously being obsessed with aliens, and Ola literally trying to tell her, like, hey, like, I kind of miss my mom. And she's like, but what about the alien sighting? And I was like, Lily, like, I cannot.
See, I don't like, I didn't like that, obviously, but I do think that's kind of realistic for like a very, they're still young. Like, remember, they're teenagers, they're like kids.
Yes.
Like, sometimes they don't have their priorities straight, and they think, like, you know, especially when you're really, really into something like that, you think that is like your whole world. And like, it made sense to me that maybe it's just because I don't know. Like, I feel like it made sense to me that this girl who's like super, super obsessed with aliens or whatever,
Yes.
literally cannot get over it to the point where when people are talking about their actual problems, she thinks that her problems are just as bad. Like, it just seems really real to me.
It's not unrealistic. I'm just saying them as a couple now, I'm not as much, like, I would need more convincing, because even at the end, Ola was the one who showed up at the park, not Lily, like, showing up at the park on purpose for Ola. It was like Ola was like, oh, I just happened to be here, and she's like, oh, I guess we can like hang out. Like, I'm like maybe you guys should be friends or something, because clearly, like, I don't know, I just feel like Ola needs more of an outlet. That's what I feel. I feel bad in that way.
I don't know if they'll last. I feel like they might break up or something soon. But I just think, like, I didn't mind it just because I felt like that's actually what would probably happen.
No,
like,
sure.
You know?
But I just felt like the ending implied a reconciliation rather than like open-ended. Because if they left it open-ended, then I'd be like, oh, okay, this is a realistic depiction of a relationship. But the way they did it seemed like, oh, we're trying to get you to root for them again. And I was like, how can you do that after you just did like this whole season of craziness? Kind of how I felt about Viv too, about them making her kind of annoying the whole time, and then like last minute she like helps out. I still love Viv, but I'm just saying, I think it's like,
no, I get that. It's
like, ugh,
I'd be interested to see what they do with them next season.
I am intrigued to see, but maybe that's what they wanted me. Maybe they didn't want me to like them, and maybe that's what they did. But
that's what I'm thinking. I'm like, maybe they wanted people to be like, oh, they're getting back together, like, after all that. But
we'll see. Well, yeah,
it's hard to tell with this show. Like, that's what I'm saying. The point is that they take all these like stereotypes and then they
like flip it on their heads,
flip them over. So,
but I did want to say about Ola specifically, because like we're talking about Ola too. I felt like really bad for her in general, like with her whole situation.
She was going through it. This whole season.
Man, like everything. And this is another side. Her and Adam's friendship, I just makes me cry like every time. So
I love their friendship.
Cute, adorable. Like, I don't know, maybe these friendship couples, I think that's gonna be a theme.
See, that's the nice thing about this show is I like how they put priorities on friendships too. Like, it's not just relationships. Like, that's why I like. Because in high school, like, it's not always all relationships all the time. Like, it's about friendship. Like, we're gonna get to this as we get to other characters. About my favorite friendships, but I like how they put a lot of emphasis on friendships.
They
too.
Like make every friendship I'm never upset at. Like, I've never seen a friendship on this show that I don't absolutely
even when
adore.
the friends are doing like stupid things.
Yes,
like, it's nice to see friends go through the same type of arcs and storylines that a relationship would go through.
They're like so good with the friendships. Like, even like we talked about Jean and Maureen are friends. Like, I'm just saying, like, all the random friendships that they put together, like, pristine. I just can't if there was that's
what makes it a good teen high school show, because it's like, you know, friendship. You know, that's basically what it is all about.
It is. If there was an award for like best, like, you know how there's like, oh, best ships, they have best like friendships.
100%,
hands down.
Yeah.
Yeah. Did you have anything else to say about Ola and Lily, or do you want to go to
No, not really. Like, I felt bad for Ola, but I like, you know, again, I think both of those actresses are really good.
Oh, both actresses.
I think they do a really good job.
Yes.
And it made sense to me that Ola would be at odds with Otis with this whole thing.
It would.
So
makes sense.
Yeah. No, I don't really have that many complaints.
But also, we'll get back to Lily when we talk about Otis, because I want to talk about that scene that they did, which is really good. Also made me cry. I cried a lot in this season. It was
definitely very emotional.
It was heavy. Yeah. Okay, now we have Jean and Jakob.
I'm gonna be honest, this was my least favorite storyline. The whole pregnancy thing in the season. The whole pregnancy thing, like, I don't know. I know a lot of people love Jean, and like, I totally understand.
Yes.
But I'm not a Jean fan. Like, I'm not really? I mean, she's kind of just there for me. Like, I don't know. I liked her in season 1 because I liked her in the sense that she was like, you know, her whole thing with Otis. But I get what they're trying to do. They're trying to separate her a little bit from Otis and have her own issues or whatever. But it was just annoying. Like, I don't know why. I every time it was like her scenes or like stuff with her, I would just put the speed to like 1.5 so I could get through it quicker. Maybe just because I don't really like pregnancy storylines. They don't really interest me at all.
Yeah.
So, and also I just don't get how she went that long being pregnant without telling him, and then just dropped it on him. Like, it just made no sense to me.
I feel bad for Jakob. Like,
Jakob is also going through it. Like, he like literally within the span of like 2 months has to find out that his girl that he slept with is pregnant and that they have to move in together. And now he has to be a father and he has to blend his family together with her. Like, it's just a lot. And I feel like Gene probably could have handled that better. But
yeah, and he already like raised 2 kids like basically on his own. Like, I'm just like,
so I was just like, ugh. Like, it was very exhausting.
And
to
when
watch,
he revealed his other wife had, oh my gosh, I was like, Jakob.
His other wife?
His like his ex-wife, the one who passed away.
Yeah.
You didn't remember? She had an affair.
Oh yeah,
and she was like
they were about to like, and then she got sick. Was just going through it. Like, I get why he was so angry the whole time and like doing stuff like that. But yeah, I don't know. It's just, I guess it was just my least favorite out of everyone. I just felt like I was like waiting to get to the other parts.
I can see what you're saying. I agree. It's not my favorite. Like, I feel like it was a little bit repetitive. That's what I'll say. I don't mind Jean's storylines, but I think it was repetitive for her whole all like, oh my gosh, I feel trapped with Jakob. Like, we've seen this already. Like, I feel like it's a little boring. I thought they should have done more of an emphasis on her having another child. Like, it should have been more like about the psyche of being an older mom. Like, let's not pretend like that's not a hard thing, especially when you weren't expecting it. Like, it's not like you're an older mom, like, just naturally. She's like, I wasn't planning. It literally came out of nowhere. Yeah. It's very different when people try and they're just older. She literally was like, I wasn't even trying to do this, but it happened. So I would have more liked to see her deal with more of the idea of like the family part, like what this baby means to her at this point, and like what living with Jakob and maybe co-parenting means to her. But I think the biggest thing we need to discuss is that cliffhanger that they left at the end, where she opens the paternity test.
Oh yeah,
and she goes, "Oh my god!" Oh, and I'm like, Jean.
What?
If Jakob is not the dad,
Jakob's not the father, what the fuck?
Excuse me.
Who would it even be? Otis's dad? But they didn't sleep together, did they?
They did, right? She cheated. Yeah.
Shit.
And also, they tried to imply that homeboy, motorcycle guy who bumped into them, could be it too, because he's like, "Is that my baby?" And she was like, "No." And then that's when Jakob got like, "I want to see a paternity test because I don't trust you." Which honestly,
God. But can't you not take a paternity test until after the baby's born?
Is that true?
I think so.
Really?
Unless they're just throwing that away. Because I forgot what show I was watching, but there was a show I was watching where someone was pregnant. And they cannot. Oh yeah, it was Grey's Anatomy. Oh. And they didn't know which who's the baby fucking father was. Oh. And you can't do a paternity test until like after the baby's born, and it takes a couple days to come in. So
that's
I don't know if they're just deciding to be like, nah, she got it before, but I'm pretty sure that's what it is. So I don't know if that was
so. Okay, that helps me, because maybe it's not that. Maybe they just did that to scare us, else, but it's not true. I hope. But like I said, they could really just be like saying, screw science, let's just pretend that she took it. Perhaps before. They could do that. I really hope they're not, because I really liked when Otis and like Jakob had their scene, and he was like,
yeah, I'd be really upset if they made Jakob not the father after literally all of that happened.
That's so dumb. That'd be so dumb.
Yeah, that would be
I hope it's like something else. Like,
that's what I'm saying. I hope they're trying to just trick us, and they hope people don't realize that you can't do a paternity test that early. But especially because the baby's in like the ICU or whatever it is, like, because it's early, like, you cannot do a paternity test that early.
Oh yeah, you're right. I believe you. Next. Okay, now we're going on to Adam and Eric.
I have also a lot of feelings about this.
Okay, let me just say this right now.
Yeah,
I cannot be unbiased. I stan Adam. I can't, like, he could do no wrong to me at this point. It's bad. But I cry every time he does anything. Like, I'm like, oh my gosh, it's growing. But
I guess I still cannot get over the fact that, like, they made Adam and Eric a couple. Like, I get it. It's the stereotype of, like, the bully ends up dating the bullied. But I just can't get over that. Like, it's just like, we literally used to shove you into lockers, and now you guys are dating. Like, it's just, I don't know.
Really?
That from the beginning, I didn't really like that much. But also, like,
I feel like this season they were so cute. Like, they really did a lot of
as scenes. A couple, I didn't find them that cute.
Really?
Like, I understood what, like, I get that Adam is, like, still struggling with his identity, whatever. But I do also feel for Eric, because he's like, I forgot what analogy he made, but he's like, I'm ready to fly, and you're just like learning how to walk.
Really? I felt
so like I felt bad
Eric
for him.
was kind of rude and pressuring to Adam, not gonna lie. Because I was like, aside, I know like the bullying thing is there, right? But if you were to take it just for what it was, as in one, like you have a gay man who's been out for more time and with like a newly out, I guess, bisexual person.
Yeah.
The way he like treated him when he was like, I don't want this, like during the sex part, I was like, Eric, like you can't be like,
no, that makes sense. Like I get that, but like I said, I also kind of get his frustration. Like it's kind of like, how are you supposed to react in that situation? Because it's like you don't sign up to be like somebody's spirit guide or whatever, you know.
I totally get that, but I feel like, I guess when it comes to sex, I'm like, okay, we can't be like, I think obviously emotional stuff, like you can be like, hey, I'm holding you accountable to something because of blah. But when it comes to sex, I'm sorry. Even if the person is all the way there and then they go like, I just can't. You cannot be like, wow. Yeah. You know?
Oh, no, 100%. Like, no, that makes sense.
You have
like, I do get it. Like, he was acting kind of rude.
Yes.
But I think I do also kind of feel for him. Like, you know what I mean?
Yes,
like,
I understand
get where both of them were coming from.
Yeah.
Because it's frustrating for Eric, especially when Adam was having like really bad communication issues. Like he just wasn't communicating properly what he wanted. So like I'm not like, I know some people were like really mad that Eric like cheated on him.
I was
like, I'm not even that mad. Like I kind of understand.
No, but like I'm like,
like this
Eric,
is really bad.
This
but
is
like
what you've
he was
done
literally
twice,
in this other
though.
country.
That's
he was
my
finally
problem.
getting a feel, but like he was finally getting a feel for like how life would be like to just be able to like, you know, be out and hang out with lots of different gay people. I guess like I get it. Like should he have slept with that guy? Probably not.
He
like
didn't.
I don't agree with that. Didn't he? But they woke up in the bed together.
He said did we, and he said no. So they
okay.
That's why he said I kissed someone else.
Should he have kissed that guy? Probably not. But do I think it was like the worst thing ever? It came out of nowhere. Blah, blah, blah.
No, but this is my thing. This is the second time. Like I think Eric has a problem. A little bit.
Oh yeah, like Eric's not perfect. Don't get me wrong.
Because
like,
you had
too, but
a relationship with what's his name, Raheem. Sorry,
yeah.
And you did the same thing. So now we're looking at a
pattern.
But
he didn't cheat on Raheem, did he?
Yeah, he did.
Oh.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, yeah. No, I'm not.
No,
like,
so
I'm
like,
he's not a cheater. I'm not.
No, yeah, but I'm like, we're looking at a pattern now rather than
no, that makes sense.
A slip up. I think that's why people are like, bruh, nah. Like they even made a joke about it.
They broke up at the end, didn't they? Yeah.
Yeah, because Adam said like to Raheem, he was like, Eric kissed another guy, and he's like, I know exactly how you feel, because that's the joke.
Yeah. Like, see, like that's what I'm saying. I'm glad that they broke up at the end. Like I would have hated too if they had a reconciliation. Like I feel like Eric needs to be alone for a bit. Like I don't think he needs to be in a relationship.
I kind of disagree. I wish they had broken up in the next season. I wish
they hadn't broken up right now.
No, I wish they hadn't. Like I wish they prolonged. I think this would have happened either way. The story arc that they did, I knew it was coming. Like, for sure. They weren't going to be together forever. I 100% was okay with that. However, I don't know. Maybe I need to watch more shows, but I liked the way they depicted them as a gay couple. Period. Like I don't think we see a lot of those nicely depicted. Like I know that you maybe didn't like it, but I thought it was really cute. I thought the moments were nice, and it made them like lighthearted, like both of them a little bit. So I just wanted more. I don't know. That's it. Like I kind of they were one of my favorite couples to watch this season, like point blank period. Like there wasn't that many to watch, but they were my favorite couple to watch, and I had a good time watching them. So I wanted it to be longer. That's it, pretty much. Yeah. I'm not upset by the arc. I actually, like you said, I agree with you. It makes sense. It was factual. I just think it was, I'm a big slow burn person in any sense.
No, that makes sense.
Of breakups, of like relationships, anything. So if you can prolong something for longer, it makes it like more like gut punching, which I do enjoy, or like more rewarding. So I did wish that it was a little bit like that, but it's fine.
See, for me, like Eric is is probably one of my, if not my favorite character in the whole show. Like I just love him. So I just like, I wish, that's why I'm glad that they broke up, because I want to see more of Eric just being Eric. Like I don't want him to be tied down to a relationship. I wanted to see more of him, you know?
But I feel like I actually am worried that it's not going to work out the way you think it is.
Man,
because of the show. Like what's going to happen?
I just love Eric. I want him to be happy.
You know,
yeah,
like,
I want him to
be
not
happy,
be a
but
cheater.
I feel like if they kept him in that relationship for a little longer, unless like, you know, the fights they had fights every episode. I'm saying they should have distanced the fights, and then season 4 broke up. Like, they could have even broken up in episode 2. Like, I don't even care. And then we would have had lots of episodes at the end of him like being single, realizing like whatever. I just don't know what they're gonna, you know, I'll have trust in the writers, but I just don't know what they're gonna do with him.
No, that makes
next
sense.
season.
I get that.
Because it's like, I feel like honestly we have more reason to follow Adam at this point than Eric, which I don't want, but I feel like there's more character development from Adam. Eric had all his character, let's be real, in the first season he had the most.
Yeah, that's true.
If not all. He caught all of the smoke when it came to character development. I think that's what made him
I hope that this breakup sparks a new development for him.
I hope, but I don't think there's nowhere else. I don't know. What's it called? Is too small. That's what I'm a little worried for him. I think like post grad, this man's going to be on fire, but he's still in high school. And I think there's not that much for him to explore. But again, we'll have faith in the writers. I'm sure they'll come up with something. Hopefully. But that's how I felt about that. Okay. Next one. We got to stay on time, y'all. We know you love to listen to us talk for hours and hours. Okay, we have Amy plus Steve in the background.
Yeah.
Amy, just her whole therapy thing, like, award-winning. I was
okay, I didn't know where you were going with that. I was literally, if you're going to say anything negative, I'm really sad. Because I love Amy as a character. She's probably
winning,
like, one of the other best characters. Like,
absolutely
Eric is my favorite characters, but I think Amy is, like, objectively the best character in the whole show.
Like, one of the best. Not. Ugh. I do. What is with me? Maybe I'm not, like, in the mood for breakups. I did feel bad for Steve somehow. I just felt like, you know.
Yeah. But there. Also, it's kind of like,
it makes sense. But I was just like, I liked her therapy journey, and I guess like I didn't really care for her to break up with Steve or to be with, like, it didn't really matter. Like, I felt he was just funny in the background. That's how I felt about him. But I think they were good for comedic effect. I guess that's why I liked them. That's it. Like, together
as a couple or whatever. But also it was so realistic how the fact that she's like, I'm just staying with him because I'm too nice to like break up with him.
Oh,
and then her whole thing with herself.
Like, if I hadn't just smiled at that guy on the bus, like blah blah blah. And when Jean said this, I literally dropped to the floor. When Jean was like, "Have you smiled to people on the bus before?" And she was like, "Yeah." And I was like, "Oh." Like, I know that's like obvious, but it's not.
I know. I love Amy as a character, and also like that is like the definition of how to do a 3-dimensional character.
Yes,
because she has like multiple things going on with her. You know, like you have her personality where she's trying to, she's really nice. She's given, she's really comedic, and then you have her internal struggles with like the sexual assault and then whatever, and then you have her friendship things with Maeve, and then her relationship problem. Like, that is literally a 3-dimensional character.
Is the other friendship couple that we're talking about. There's another too, but this friendship couple, pristine,
one of my
award
favorites.
Winning again.
Absolutely amazing. Yep.
Love it.
I'm so glad. Like, I'm not happy, but I'm glad that they made them like fight in this. You know,
I loved the fight. It was
because it needed to happen. You know, it needed to happen. They had problems, and
they both needed to address the fact that like both of them were not acting like themselves, if that makes sense.
Yeah,
like
100%.
And I love the scene where they made up. She's like, "I'm sorry," and she's like, "Steve, hold the cakes."
Like, I just love. I love Amy. She's the best. Like that. Like, no other things need to be said.
Yes,
amazing, fantastic.
A+. Okay.
Her growth from season 1 to now is just impeccable.
Man, I love her. Yeah, absolutely. I'm gonna miss her. I don't know why. I'm just. I am. Okay. Now we have Isaac. Yeah, that's Isaac. Yeah. We have Isaac.
Just Isaac?
Well, yeah, because like it's too many love triangles, so I have to put these people individually.
All these characters like intertwined. But okay, I'm gonna be honest with you.
What?
I don't hate Isaac. I like him.
You like him? I feel like this man was just a tool for the love triangle. That's it.
I get it, but also I don't know what it is. I just like it.
I don't feel any ways about him. I'm very indifferent about him.
I don't like him in the sense that I wanted Maeve to end up with him. But I just like him. I mean, I don't know. Like, I don't know what it is. I just like him.
I just feel like, no. I don't feel
like I hated him in season 2. Like, you were supposed to hate him in season 2. He was like an asshole. He was doing all. But then this season, I was like, I don't know why. I just can't hate you anymore.
Yeah. I didn't hate him after season 2. I hated what he did. I've always said that.
Oh, yeah, that's true. I didn't hate him, but I hated what he did. But then, like, I like how they addressed it Like, they didn't just pretend that it didn't happen. Like, they had to literally address it this whole season and how
and they didn't drag it out. I really thought they would. But
yeah,
they really...
and like, I don't know. I think he's just. I think he has good intentions. Like,
I think he has good intentions. However, sorry to this man, I don't really need to see him anymore.
You what? You don't need to see him anymore?
No, like
no, I actually like him. That's what I'm saying. Like, I was surprised by the end of the season. I was like, I want to see more of him. Like, I want to know more about him. You know, I don't know.
Like, I'm like, you did your job, and I like that. I think he did a really good thing for Maeve, and he was sweet. But I don't need to see him anymore because Maeve's going to America, so I don't need him around.
True.
Like, no offense. Like, I think, like I said, the man was just a tool for the love triangle and to be like Maeve's good like support system. But beyond that, I'm so sorry to this man. I don't know if I want him.
I don't agree. I want him. I want to see him. I want them to give him more storylines, but like besides Maeve, like I don't know. I want to see more of him. I can't explain it.
Maybe I could see him sell some paintings, but that's about it. I don't want more. I don't want him. I definitely don't. I'm so sorry to Isaac. I don't want to see him like get a girlfriend or something. Like I'm honestly not gonna care about that at all. I'm gonna be honest with you. I would be really like, unless the girl was like really cool, it would have to be the girl carrying it. No offense.
See, like that's what I felt like was gonna happen next season. I feel like they're gonna bring in like she's gonna come back from America and he's gonna have like a girlfriend and she's gonna be like, oh, okay.
Maybe, but it would have to be very like background. Like I'm telling you, please not too much. I don't want too much. Because if you give me too much, then I won't like it at all. I like where he's at. I like what he did.
Okay.
And it's good.
I'll agree to disagree for that one.
Yes, we'll agree.
I don't know why. I don't know why. I think maybe because I don't know. I just think he's nice and
he's nice.
I want good things to happen to him, I guess.
I want him to get a girlfriend off screen. You know what? The man could get married off screen. I don't care. But it's cool. It's good. Like we're good. Like that friend you know from a distance that you only see at parties. That's Isaac to me.
Yeah. Okay. Let's move on.
Next one.
Yeah.
Now we're getting into like some pretty. You'd be surprised who the next person is, but I have Maeve first, and then Ruby, and then Otis. Just to spoiler. That's fine, guys. But we'll go with. Maybe we should do Ruby first. Before me.
Yeah. I guess we could do Ruby. First. Maeve and Otis kind of all in one.
All together.
Sort of thing.
All together. Okay.
Okay. Unpopular opinion, possibly. Because it's just, I'm going based off what I see, like, online. Yeah. Or whatever. Most of the people I've been seeing talk about online think that Otis should have been with Ruby.
Yes, most people think that. Yeah.
I 100% disagree.
I disagree too. But
I like Ruby. I love what they did with the character. I love what they did with the relationship.
Obviously.
I like how we got to know her, but yes. I am Maeve and Otis 100%.
Oh, okay. Merci that we're on this because we're not always on the same page, you know?
Yeah, no. Like I 100% like people are like, no, Maeve and Otis should not be together. This is so stupid.
Yeah,
like,
some people love.
You should have been with Ruby. Absolutely freaking not. Like the whole point is that Ruby is not good for Otis. Like I like how they got to know each other. I like how she finally opened up to him. But when she was like, I love you, and he didn't say I love you back, I was like, girl, what did you think? Like, did you think this guy was going to say I love you? Like, you really guys have been dating for like 2 minutes.
I know.
Like, you were literally just hooking up for a couple months, and then you just started dating for real, and you think he's going to say I love you back? Like,
but that's realistic
that is very high
for
school.
teenage girls.
I was going to say, that's very high school. That very makes sense. But, girlfriend, like, I don't know what you thought was going to happen. And, like, people were like, no, like, this is so dumb. Like, he let her go. I'm like, what did you think was gonna happen? Yeah. Like he's clearly still like he was barely okay with the idea of them actually dating for real.
Yeah,
they were literally just hooking up for a while. And
like he was,
we can date.
To be honestly, the only reason that he was dating her is because Maeve made a comment about how he's a relationship person.
Exactly.
Let's be real.
Like, come on. Like it was not meant to happen.
The fact that he told Maeve like. And now we're together. Like, what do you think that was about, babes? You're not friends. Like,
do I am I sad that her character arc ended up on a sad note and we didn't really get to see anything good?
I feel bad for her.
I do feel bad for her.
Like I feel bad for Isaac.
I hope next season, she can, be happier, I guess, and do some other things that are happy. Mm-hmm. But I don't think that he should have ended up with Ruby. Not at all. Like,
I think this is what I'll say. I think Ruby was the hidden gem of the season. I think.
Oh yeah, 100%.
Because I hated her in season 2. I was like, ew. Sure. The fact that he hooked up with her, I was upset. I thought it was a joke. Like I was like, no, they didn't hook up. But she like did really well. I like actually, like we said, they always do this. We felt really like we felt for her. I think I like her as a character now. Like I'm like, okay, I like her.
Oh yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like I want to see more of her, but
I love
people are like, no,
her thing with her friendships. Like I think that was important. Like the fact that when she broke up, she finally had her friends over at her house. Like I feel like that was the character development that we needed. Exactly. I want to see it like that with her friends. I don't need to see her.
I don't need her to be in a relationship. I'm okay with that.
Yeah.
I need her to see her friends and whatever.
Yeah, I think that's the best thing for her.
But what I don't know what people are talking about. Like I don't see how you can't root for Maeve and Otis. Like, come on.
Yes, I actually want to even hone in on the point that you said, which was like Otis was good for Ruby, but Ruby was not good for Otis. Like Otis made Ruby open up and be like, "Hey, you need to like talk your feelings," which Otis is good at that period. Like he's the guy who makes people open up a little bit more with his talking. But let's be real, what did Ruby provide for Otis? Bad outfits?
Insults? Like I don't know, literally just it's like people expected that like the one time she opened up to him, all of a sudden he's gonna be like in love with her or whatever. It's like, no, like obviously he appreciates it, but it doesn't mean he's gonna be in love with her. Like it's nice, but you know, and like I even still don't know what you're expecting.
The point where he said, "I'm not there yet, but I doesn't mean I can ever get there," and the fact that she said you had to leave shows, which I don't blame her. Ruby has a lot of pride, like that's clear.
It's a little bit of an immature thought too.
It is
it's like you either have to love me now or never. Like,
never.
You know?
And I think that is true to Ruby's character, and I think that shows that she's not. Yeah, good for Otis. Like in that.
That's what I'm saying. Like it's realistic, and I definitely loved her character. Like I didn't hate her. I love what they did with her character, but I just disagree when people say that. Yeah. No, they should have ended together. No. Maeve and Otis, 100%. No. I was literally so happy when they finally kissed.
Oh my gosh, I loved them.
They're like the best, I think, relationship in the show. In my opinion,
they are the best couple. Like.
Romantic relationship.
Like even I still think about them from season 1. Like season 1 was my favorite. Like that made me. You could never. They could do, because you know Otis was kind of like an asshole in season 2, and they did that on purpose. It's fine, but you could never change my mind after what I saw in season 1. The chemistry, I will never go back. I will never turn. I've never. No,
they are like meant for each other.
I do. I love, and especially, you know what I love? A lot of people haven't been talking about it as much online, I would say, but I thought Otis's arc was perfection this season. I know a lot of people are kind of.
He is also a very like dimensional character. Yes, like, he has a lot of things going on.
Yes. And I think like how they do him perfectly. Like he 100%. Acts the way he should act. Like he's immature at times, but I think it's realistic. Like a lot of people are like, "Oh, the way he treated Maeve like at that party, like unforgivable." I'm like, okay. I think it's realistic, first of all, and it was not okay. Obviously, he shouldn't. Especially in front of people.
That's the thing with the show. Like people do bad things.
Exactly.
It's whether or not you like. I like Vivian was doing bad things and I didn't like it because it was out of character. It was annoying. It was whatever. But then other characters do bad things and it makes sense because it makes sense for their character. Exactly. It makes sense in the story, like what Ruby was doing and what Otis was doing. It makes sense.
Yeah, because Otis was obviously frustrated with Maeve, rightfully so. Like Maeve did not like wasn't honest with her feelings until the moment that he got a girlfriend, and it's like she can't act like she didn't know that Otis was into her. Like it was like. Come on, like that is playing with the man a little bit, you know. And I obviously feel for her because she was, you know, she has her own issues and stuff. But I understood why he was frustrated with her. Obviously, should he have gotten drunk and then, you know, did that whole thing? No. But it is realistic, and people do stupid things, and they continue to do stupid things. And I loved,
you know, they worked it out, and they finally admitted that they like each other.
Oh my gosh,
I was very happy about that.
I was so happy, and I have to go back to. When Otis realized that like he was being dumb with his whole, because he like basically stopped doing the clinic, like everybody knows that, and he was he was being really detached with people. Like he was like, oh, it's not my space, and I was the whole time I was like, what are you doing? Like this is not like you, which is duh, it wasn't like him. And he's like, I got really hurt by being rejected, which is true. Like you told a girl you loved her and she's like, nah, like in theory she said no. So you don't want to do that thing that makes you like reminds you of her. But I like that they showed that he was like, I love helping people, and he's like, but it reminded me of you, so I didn't want to do it, but I still love doing it. Like I like that they didn't make it just like, oh, I do this, like I do the clinic for you only.
Yeah, like I only did it because I liked you. Like no, he's like, I generally liked helping people and whatever, but I just couldn't continue because it just reminded me.
Yeah, and I think it was very, because at the beginning, I think it was clearly he did it because of Maeve. Like at the beginning, like he only did the clinic because he's like, oh, okay, whatever, she's cool, I get to spend time with like a cool person. But then
he realized how much he liked actually helping. And it's funny because it's like this whole season, there was no clinic, but he just can't help but help people. And I just love that about his character. Like I like how he just can't help but literally like be helpful and help people and talk to people.
It was so, and like the scene. Oh my gosh, Otis literally like just want to squeeze his cheeks, bruh. Like I don't. It's just like so. And when he went to Lily's house. Tell me why I was sobbing.
I know. That's what I'm saying. Like, he just can't help but be there for people, you know? And it's like, he's just he's like one of the most realistic, like, high school teenage characters, even though the actor himself is, like, quite a bit older.
Yeah.
But that's the one thing I like about the show that's kind of off topic. But I like how most of the characters, even though they're all, like, older than 18, some of them are even, like, pushing 30.
Yeah.
They at least look like teenagers.
Yeah, somehow
that's
like,
what I'm happy about.
Them out.
They dress them well. They even their faces, they all look fairly younger.
Yes.
Like some other shows you can't compare.
Yeah.
Like they literally will get people that look like they're 30, but at least these people, like I know we don't usually like when they cast like older people for teenage shows, but also with a show like this,
no, you
kind
need
of necessary.
It. You cannot have
it because of the subject matter or whatever.
Women being
exactly.
No, please no.
But at least they cast people that look young.
Yes,
that's what I like.
And like I feel like they've created an environment around with the people to make it like okay. Like, have you noticed that sometimes in these shows they'll like cast super old people, but then like there'll be some like extras, and you're like, that guy actually looks young. Like, why would you do that? Like, you know, like when you mix and match, they like very much create an environment consistently with these people that makes it, you know, more realistic in that way. But
like even the jock, like Jackson, like he's not this hugely buff dude. Like he looks like a teenage jock. Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah. I think that was really good.
Otis, love him. Love his character.
Him.
Excellence, perfection. His friendship with Eric is my favorite friendship.
Yes.
Literally my other favorite friendship. I'm obsessed with them as friends. I just literally every time, like they're just always there for each other. Bruh. And they're not afraid to just show how much they care about each other. And you don't get to see that often because you know, like, you know, dudes, you know, straight dudes, they don't like being friends with gay guys because they're all freaking like, oh no homo, you're gonna hit on me. But I just love how, like, see, that's the type of thing where it's like, it's challenging norms, but it's so effortless. Like they never talk about it. They never discuss the fact that
like he's like
he's
just
a
be
straight
happy
guy being friends with a gay guy. They're just besties. Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like,
and like
besties.
when he was like, oh, I don't like your relationship with Adam because he hurt you, and he's like, just be happy with me that I'm gonna have the sex, and he was like, okay. And then they started dancing up the stairs. Like you just can't make that stuff up.
Exactly. Oh, I just love them
my
so
favorite
much
scene in like probably the entire season was when Otis was crying, you know, because he's upset, like he's worried that his mom was not gonna make it. And Eric and him are like, you know, hugging, and he's like, it's gonna be fine, and this loser comes up to the vending machine to try to use it, and Eric is like, get out of here.
I love it. That's what I'm saying, I love Eric so
my
much.
Gosh, he's like, can't you see that we are set?
Oh my god, I love their friendship. Like it's actually like one of my favorite like fictional friendships
I hope they're the ending scene like of the show. Like the ending credits is like them going off to college or something, saying bye. Like that's what I need, right?
Oh my god, I'm gonna be so sad.
That's what I need.
Like I want them to be friends forever.
They will be. You know what? I don't even care. Go back to the credits and show me when they're 30 saying hello to each other. I don't care. I want it.
God, I just love their friendship so much. Like Amy and Maeve, and then Eric and Otis. Best like fictional friendships I think that I've ever seen, that I can think of at least. Prime.
Okay, we didn't talk enough about Maeve. Sorry to this girl. I
love Maeve too. I'll just say it really quick. Love Maeve. Love her character. She's excellent. Her storylines are so beautiful, in depth, so important,
and I love that she's like smart. Interesting. I love that. Like
I love that her. She's like super smart,
and that she can achieve things, and it's just like her financial stuff that's holding her back more than like her brain.
Exactly. That's the thing about this show. You literally it touches on so many different topics of like marginalization and different topics of stuff like that, you know.
Mom, like,
you have people who have like dysfunctional family homes and like not enough money, and then you have people who have like who are like the rich kids, and then you have the, you know, different spectrums on the LGBTQ spectrum. That's what I'm saying. Different people on the LGBTQ spectrum. Like it just love it.
Yeah, and like I love the storyline with her sister. I thought that was really well done.
And the foster mom, like I like how she finally opened up and like allowed herself to be helped, I guess, like allow
yes, because
be open
that's a
to
big
help.
problem of hers.
Of course, again, it's a big
Crazy.
problem with like teenagers who have gone through so much like shit in their
Yeah.
lives. Like they don't want to accept help from anyone, you know. They
Which
just like had to
mean.
learn how to do everything on their own. So.
Right? Ugh.
Love her,
So-
like her, like literally genius. Somebody genius had to come up with all these storylines
know.
for her. Like
How do
I
you
want to talk to
feel?
the person who
I do.
did that.
So much. How do you feel? I think we'll end on this note because like this is how we'll talk about the ending. We did talk about the Jean cliffhanger, but the other like open-ended part I would say of the show is that
I like how
Maeve
decided to go to
go to
America.
school.
I'm glad that
Mhm.
she actually decided to go because
yes,
she finally decided to do something for herself.
yes,
And although I'm really happy that her and Otis got together,
Mhm.
it does suck that they're gonna be apart, but I think it's so necessary. Like
yes,
I think like I just hope that like they talk when she's gone. Like, I hope they
Yes.
actually got to talk every day and that they're really excited to see each other again.
Mhm.
And obviously it opens up so many more storylines because like
It does.
who knows what she's gonna get up to in
In
America?
America,
Who
yeah.
knows what she's gonna learn about herself and
Mhm.
what she's gonna do? So
Yes,
I'm very happy about that.
I am. I really hope this is my own thing. I love that she went to America. It needs to be done. I just don't want them to. I think it would be to me a little bit disappointing and unrealistic if they made it as if like, oh, because she's gone, like they can't talk at all. Like I don't.
That's
think
what I'm saying. Like I hope that they realize that they can like text and FaceTime literally
like-
every day. Like it's not gonna be a problem.
And I feel like that's a realistic thing that happens now. Like a lot
I
of
know,
people.
but I
are
hate.
in
I
long-distance
just feel like because I'm
relationships.
so used to other shows, I just don't want them to come back and be like, "Oh, hey, like I haven't talked to you in a while." She's like, "Oh yeah, I'm sorry, I was just so busy."
Yeah, I
and
don't want
I
that.
hate when that happens.
I literally want it to be like they managed to do it just fine, even if it's like not together. Still,
At least they like kept in touch.
at
and
least,
stuff,
yeah. Please do it, please.
But anyways, how do you feel? Like, how would you rate this season overall?
How would I
If you
rate
had to
this
give it
season
like a
overall?
grade.
It's so hard because it's like all the seasons are good,
I
but like
know.
this, and there's some stuff I love about seasons and some stuff I don't.
Mhm.
Let's try. Should we rank the seasons? I'm gonna try to do that. That's what I'm gonna do. I'm
I
gonna try to
honestly,
rank.
I feel like it's been so long since I watched season
Oh,
one.
really?
I rewatched season 2 not that long ago,
Yeah. Well, I'll rank it for myself, and then
but
I'll
we'll
try
probably have the same ranking. But yeah,
yeah. I think for me, I think season 1 has to be number 1 because duh, like
Mhm.
I just love it. I would actually rank this season as number 2,
yeah.
and I think
same.
I'm putting season 2 as number 3. That's what
Yeah.
I'll do.
Me too. I agree.
Yes.
But it's such a good show. Like
It's
I just
so
think
good.
everyone needs to watch it. I'm like, it's literally one of those shows that like when my kids are like, if I have kids and they turn like
Yeah.
12 or 13 or even a little bit older, I will make them watch the show.
Yeah.
Like it's
I
actually
mean,
so informative too. Like you
it
learn
is,
a lot.
It is. I would wait because they do show penis, so I don't know why penis is.
They
scary
do,
to
but
me.
I mean, like you
but
know,
it is a
you
good
gotta
show.
show that it's like a neutral thing. You know, it's
I
just a body part,
suppose
you know?
I'm not ready yet for my kids at 12 to see penis, but maybe at
That makes
16 they can like watch it. I think that's probably appropriate, right? Because it's
I
probably
feel
rated
like let me
14A.
break it to you. I feel like your kid at 12 is probably already gonna see some shit.
Absolutely no. Nope. They don't have penises on the internet. I don't know what you're talking about. I don't know what you're talking about.
I'm just saying.
I have no idea what you're talking about.
You might as well show it in a neutral environment, a
No.
learning environment.
If I show them, it'll be like on some science stuff. That's as neutral as it gets. I'll be like, look at this biology book. Hello. All right.
Yeah.
But
But anyways,
whatever.
I feel like it's such an interesting show. You learn a lot.
It is.
You know, all these fun characters. It's funny. It's emotional. It's lovely.
It has everything. Like they need to
Yeah.
stop. It's just
like it's honestly just one of
it's
the best teen
embarrassing
shows
for
ever.
everybody
I think.
else, which
High school
that's what
shows.
it is. But like for other shows, you know, because
Oh, 100%.
so good.
Like,
All right.
how are you still making bad teen shows? Like
I
there is a
don't-
blueprint right there.
Hello. Yes. All right.
All right.
Good job, Netflix. Thank you.
Can't
And
wait
thank you
season
for
4.
listening to this podcast. That's
Yes, thanks for
what I'll
tuning
say.
in.
Mm-hmm.
You know the drill. Follow us
Yes.
on Instagram at FlickChicksPod. Subscribe.
Mhm.
Give us a 5-star rating.
Do
You
it, do
know,
it, do
you know
it.
the deal.
Yes.
And we'll catch you guys next time.
Bye.
Bye.